Gentlemen, at 16 years old, when I first started training, I only had the consistency to get in the gym for chest day. It was absolutely abhorrent, terrible, so bad that once a week, me and my friends during high school, we would get together and only press the barbell, get in, get out, and that was it. You'd think that one day, my solution to that problem is now what the thumbnail and title of this video is, but wrong. I ended up deciding that my solution to the problem of being so inconsistent was that then I would come up with a very regimented gym program which would require me to be in the gym for 10 plus hours a week. I started doing that style of training. I found myself waking up every single morning, 5 a.m., going down to the gym, training for 2+ hours, hitting the sauna afterwards, coming back home, then starting my day. Some of you might be thinking that is the dream gym lift. That is what we should be striving towards. You might be nodding your head along thinking, wow, that's where I'm trying to get to. Let me offer you something different. After doing that style of training for a solid year plus, almost 2 years, I then began to realize how ineffective that became for my life. I became a gym cell. It was terrible. It was absolutely horrid. After months and months of doing that training, realizing that what I was doing was not actually productive and not gaining the results that I knew I had in me, I then decided to look into an ulterior approach. That brings us full circle to where we are today with my minimalist training. So, gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing minimalist training, how to get started and to train effectively for 3 hours a week and actually get results out of the gym. I'm very excited to put this video together for you. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, watch this video in the mornings, get some black coffee. I always got my black coffee on me. And the one thing I want you guys to understand is this video is meant to be sort of like a podcast. If you're brand new to my channel, you're supposed to sit back, relax, and listen in and just absorb the information. There's not going to be much going on visually. This is meant to be education of my values and ideas. Hopefully you learn something new from it. If you do, then continue to watch more of my videos. Anyways, let's jump right in. So, in my story, I used to train for 10+ hours a week. Now, many of you might be dealing with something very similar. The point I want to make with this is we're reframing your perspective as to why training for 10+ hours is probably not helpful. I've gone over this in other videos as to why I ended up kind of in that situation, and you probably relate. You know, you see heavily in the gym community of like that whole time period of we go gym. We go gym is propaganda, okay? That whole time period to get in the gym and just spend all day grinding, physically getting as big as you possibly can and absolutely yoked. There's a time and place for that, and some people need that in their lives. But if you want to have a well-rounded life, as many of you do, many of my followers do, you want to be maxed out on your financial gains, you want to be maxed out on your physical gains, on your spiritual gains, and your relational gains. All those things you want to be your absolute best self in. Many of those guys who are pursuing, being your best self in all those areas are also just completely maxing out the gym pillar in their life. That's not what we're doing, okay? The gym pillar, the fitness pillar is important, but it is not the end-all be-all to our existence. So this is maxing out the gym pillar with the least amount of input possible. Now, if you only have 3 hours a week available for training, this split and this advice that I'm going to give to you is highly effective in actually accomplishing an effective 3-hour-a-week regimen to grow some muscle, get leaner, and actually get the physique that you want to have. This is about being aesthetic. It's not about being as big as possible. It's being lean and aesthetic. So if you don't want any of that, get out of here. So for me, I really discovered this minimalist style of training when I was introduced to Mike Mentzer's ideas. Just a bit of a historical background. Mike Mentzer was a golden era bodybuilder who competed with Arnold on stage. They had very opposing ideals. Now, for the longest time, Arnold's ideas really trumped Mike Mentzer. Now, definitely there was a community for him, but whenever you think of bodybuilding, you think of Arnold. You see him on stage. He's big, he's massive, he's loud, and he takes up the whole stage. That's his whole shtick. But Arnold's style of training is this extremely high volume, which works great for a lot of bodybuilders and people who are just getting into the gym and trying to develop discipline. But it's not the most effective approach for someone who has a different set of goals, which is putting on muscle in the most time-constrained, possibly effective way. And that's where Mentzer's ideas really come into play. Now, Mentzer was very much ahead of his time. You can look into his style of training, but when I started to hear this, I resonated a lot with it. He talks about very high intensity training and only doing what you need to do, okay? Getting into the gym and specifically hitting those targeted muscle groups with intensity and focus and getting out within like 30 to 45 minutes, an hour tops, that resonated with me. That was something I wanted to do because the gym was taking up my entire life. I was getting into the gym, I was training, and that was my entire point of self-improvement, was just the gym, maxing out the fitness pillar and not having anything else going for me. That is not what we're doing here. We are here to get into the gym and get out in the most effective way possible. So, Mentzer's ideas, phenomenal. They are excellent at reframing our perspective. So if you need to do some more research, check out more of my channel. I have a lot of other videos about these topics of minimalist training, but this is just the beginning stage argument of why you should start looking into potentially reducing the amount of training that you're doing. It's to create more life to live. That is the point. And there's a deep philosophical value in that, okay? There's more to life than just training. Don't get me wrong, training is incredible, but there's more to life. So we are building more to our life by training in this manner. Now, learning about more with less. Phenomenal ideas. Mike Mentzer was absolutely effective in transitioning my mindset into starting minimalist training. I don't follow Mentzer's advice to a T. This advice that I'm giving you has been what I've developed over the past couple of years now, doing minimalist training and getting more effective results. What I found as I started to train with less hours put into the gym, my actual muscle hypertrophy itself developed more. My social life developed more. I spent less time wasted in the gym. I slept more. I had more discipline, and I had more focus and purpose in my life overall. It has been a compounding effect that has leaked into all areas of my life. By training less and adopting this philosophy, it has leaked into all other areas of my life. So now you're probably begging, please give me the advice. Show me what I need to be doing to actually accomplish this style of training. I'm so glad you asked. Here is what we're going to do. First off, I'm going to give you guys a high-level overview in this video so you can take this advice, implement it on your own, and test out the concepts yourself. If you want A to Z specific level of advice where you can go in, take every single detail that I do myself, that I do in the gym, to how I train, it's going to be the first link in the description below. Check it out. That is my full minimalist training program. We just updated it. It is now on School, so take a look. First link in the description. By all means, check it out. But we're going to give you that high-level overview now. So, the point behind 3 hours a week. You can spend between 3 to 5 hours a week in the gym and have absolutely effective gains. Me personally, right now I'm on a 3 hour a week split. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Here is how to actually structure those days in the gym. The goal is to get in and get out within 45 minutes to an hour. All right, I usually go in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. I rarely go in the evenings. I don't enjoy it, but that's just my personal preference. The goal is to get into the gym for 1 hour, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, here is how to actually execute on the daily lift itself. When you get into the gym, the goal is to do 4 exercises for that targeted muscle group. Me, I structure it in this similar way. 1 day is push, 1 day is pull, 1 day is legs. So, the day that you go in, depending on what it is, we are going to have 4 exercises that we're going to target. We're going to start off with the most important exercise. As many of you know, I've been talking about this on the channel over and over again, and I'm coining this phrase, compound crazy. Remember that, compound crazy. It is the most important thing to training, okay? Your compound lift is the beginning lift you're going to start with. Now, if it's push day, that's going to be your bench press. If that's leg day, that's going to be your squats. If that's pull day, that's going to be your deadlifts, pull-ups, whatever that may be. Whatever compound lift you choose to start with, maybe it's the barbell shoulder press, okay? Whatever your compound lift that you're starting with, that is the most crucial lift of the day because that is going to recruit the most amount of muscles in the shortest amount of time frame and yield the most amount of results, all right? So you're going to start with your compound lift. You're going to do 3 sets of 6 to 8 reps. Get into the gym, start off with this, and you're going to rest for anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes in between each of those sets. 6 to 8 reps is really crucial for these compound lifts. Now, I want to break down this into a bit more detail. Those 6 to 8 reps, you want to be focusing on either getting to absolute failure on that sixth rep, or if you're getting to 8 reps, the amount of weight that you're pushing, up it by 5 pounds. So that's what I want you to remember. This is how you consistently up your lifts, is if you're doing 6 reps and your 6th rep is everything. That is all of your muscle that you have that comes out, and that's just everything. You're burnt out after that. 6 rep, perfect. That's the weight you want to be repping at. Fantastic. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing that. If you get to the 8th rep, and that's pretty much all out, or you have more in the tank after that, keep going until you have absolute failure. But if you get to the 8th rep and you still have gas left in the tank, I want you to take that weight and up it by 5 pounds. The goal every single session is to either be upping the weight by 5 pounds, 2.5 to 5 pounds, depending on what you're comfortable with when you hit that 8th rep, or the goal is to be hitting that 6th rep and everything is gassed out. If you hit the 7th rep, stay at that weight, you're good, okay? But 6 reps, that's what we want to be aiming for. Track your weight. That is so crucial for these compound lifts. Track what you're moving by. You don't want to stay stagnant, okay? As you hit a new level, be like, okay, last week I hit 6 reps on my bench press at 75 pounds per dumbbell, okay? So I'm going to focus on hitting 7 reps this week. Next week, I'm going to focus on hitting 8 reps. The week after that, I'm going to try to up it by 2.5 to 5 pounds and see how that goes. Focus on improving. Compound lifts are the bread and butter to building your physique. This should take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes out of the lift, is the compound lift itself. You're getting all the work done. You want to be absolutely burnt out by the end of those 3 sets that you're like, oh my gosh, if I finished up today, I would be good for the rest of the week. That is the point of these sets. You are going all out. Have a spotter. Super crucial. If you have a gym bro who's lifting with you, it's fantastic to have a spotter. If you don't have a spotter, do exercises specifically where you don't need one and you can completely burn yourself out, okay? If that's like, if you are doing a heavy leg day and you don't have a spotter for your barbell back squats, okay, then go do hack squats so you can just bail out of the machine, or just have some sort of way where you can go to absolute failure. Then you can be totally good with your training. You're gonna accelerate your progress, okay? So anyways, compound lift number 1, about 15 to 20 minutes you're gonna spend in the gym. Exercise number 2, okay? Taking notes? Good, great. Exercise number 2. The compound second movement, okay? I wrote down compound. I totally forgot why I wrote compound there. I don't even remember what comp meant. Complementary compound. Oh my gosh, I literally forgot what I wrote down there. Complementary compound is crucial, okay? So now this is gonna be your complementary compound movement. This one you don't have to go as hard. You've already targeted the exact muscle group that you wanted to get as much work done. So I use this in a mental framework of this way with your back muscles, for example. There are 2 sets that you can really target with different sets of different compound movements. There's that upper back traps movements, which are more of your rowing movements, the vertical or the horizontal rowing movements. Those are compound movements, okay? But your complementary compound movements would be your vertical pull down movements, okay? Those are still useful to accomplishing your physique, to building what you need to. So I like to go into the gym and I have 2 compound movements that I'm focusing on. My main one of the lift and then my complementary one. The complementary one, you go in there, you're still pushing hard weight, you're still getting a lot of that work done on your musculature, but you're not spending 15 to 20 minutes doing it, okay? That one you get in, still aim for that 6 to 8 reps. Maybe it's okay to get 10 reps because you're gonna be gassed from your last exercise. But the point is to get some of the different muscles that weren't completely hit with the initial compound movement. So if it's a push day, let's say your main compound movement was you're doing flat barbell bench press, okay? Your complementary compound movement can then from there be barbell, oh my gosh, I'm totally blanking on names. Barbell shoulder press, jeez. Your complementary compound movement will be barbell shoulder press because that's a different movement, still a compound movement, but it's targeting muscles within that same group, but in a different fashion. Does that make sense? You're following along? Great. Same thing for leg day. Let's say you're doing RDLs, okay? That's your main compound lift of the day. Then from there, you can do Bulgarian split squats to target your quads instead of just the hamstrings. If there's different sets of muscle groups that can't be hit with every single compound, so you do the complementary compound movement. After that, you do accessory exercise number 1, which can be any of the other muscle groups within either a push, pull, or leg day, whichever you choose. Do anywhere from 6 to 12 reps. Just really burn out the muscles. You don't have to rest as long for these. It's more so to just wrap up the exercise and hit a couple things you need to. And then number 4, the last exercise of the day, is accessory number 2. Hop into the gym, do what you need to for accessory number 4, whatever you're kind of targeting. If you have a specific focus of a muscle group you're trying to get more development done on, then focus on that muscle group. If it's your biceps, your triceps, your shoulders, your calves, those accessory movements that need more targeted work, you do that for a compound number 4. Track all your numbers, get into the gym. If you train in this manner consistently for the next anywhere from 90 to 120 days, you will see some fantastic results. You will have numbers that will continually go up. You're resting a very consistent amount of time. Your body's gonna recover super well. You're sleeping even better on top of that, and you're gonna have more time for life. I promise you, you cannot go wrong testing out this method. If you're not an actual competing bodybuilder, this is great for the normal person who's trying to stay in phenomenal shape. This is the best way to do it. Now, that pretty much goes over the high-level overview, okay? I'm gonna start wrapping up the video here, so I appreciate you guys watching. The last thing I wanna leave you guys with, okay? Down below, again, is the link to my full minimalist training program. If that is something you are interested in and actually implementing in your own life, A to Z, we currently are in the pre-stage early launch of the program. What that means is it is discounted at this price for this time only, okay? After the official product is fully launched, at the time of this being recorded, not exactly sure when the official launch is going to be. That is to be decided. When that official launch comes out, the price will go up. So this is the only time the product will be this price forever. So if you found anything valuable out of this video, imagine what that product will have, okay? So it's very important. Go check that out. If this is something that you found helpful, check it out below. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. We're going to discuss whatever means that might be about minimalist training. But go and implement the things I have talked about. Comment down below if you've been trying these things or if you have anything else you say that would be different and better for training. I appreciate you guys watching. Go achieve some greatness, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.